Well, hi there, everybody. I'm Steve. And this is Lenny, and we're the Lenny and Steve Show. And Lenny, I think, has something to say for us today.
I was thinking, why not do a short segment about nothing? Seinfeld did it, remember?
Yeah.
They did a show about nothing. They went in and auditioned about having a show about nothing. The success of our channel here is based on us knowing so much about music. We
Yeah.
are like experts.
Yeah. We know nothing.
And what we don't know, we make stuff up.
That's right. You got to make it up.
See, if you make stuff up, people are going to write cards and letters in. Well, they don't do that anymore, do they?
No.
You know why? Because the world has changed.
That's
The
right.
world has changed. Let's
That's
look
right.
at music, for instance, has changed. I love to look at music and how it's changed from Bill Haley to now. Just look at how it's changed and how it's going to change. It's going to change. It's going to
But it's
change
still
big.
got Billy in it.
It's going to change.
Believe it or not, a lot of this stuff still got Bill Haley in it. It just is filtered to something above and beyond. It's going up and beyond
You know why? Do you know why?
because it has to evolve.
Absolutely. It has to evolve. But what's making it evolve? AI, quantum computing, and the natural order of things.
And change of the times. It's the times.
It's just a natural order thing. I remember when I was a kid, if you walked out of the house with white socks on, I mean, you'd be shunned. People would yell out the car at you. Socks! Now I see people wearing white socks with sandals.
That's
and
right.
and I love it because that's how things. If you walked out of the house with a bun, a guy walked. I don't mind buns. I'm not worried about that. But back when I was a kid, you'd have to open the door and look out before you'd walk out the door with a bun on your head. Things change.
Yeah. And back in the day, there weren't any really shorts. People cut off their jeans to make shorts.
Yeah.
Remember cutting off your jeans?
Yeah. So they get real frilly at the end. I remember buying jeans and taking them home and washing them 10 times because I couldn't stand wearing new jeans.
Yeah. This is my favorite time of the year too because I don't have to wear socks. I hate wearing socks, and I love my bare feet when I walk around the house, walk anywhere, not freezing to death.
Well, another thing I wanted to tell you about the Beatles. Up here is a picture of the Beatles, and when they hit America in '64, they made fun of them because of their hair, and their hair wasn't that long. Then it evolved in like 4 years, 3 maybe. Everybody had long hair, and then in '69, Led Zeppelin hit. Wow, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Was it '69?
69. They
69?
made two albums. Their first two albums were in 1969.
I mean, I remember listening to that album for the first time. How many times do you remember listening to an album first time? You know, did they get much radio play?
Yeah, they did, but they weren't. They were on FM. They weren't on AM. FM started then, and they were more album oriented. They would play anything off an album.
FM was probably early '70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, really early '70s. Yeah. But later on, after they started playing it, they would still play "Whole Lot of Love" and what were some of the other? Communication Breakdown was another one off the first album that they used to play on the radio, but they didn't get much airplay right at first, but everybody loved those guys.
Right. I mean, that's how powerful it was. If you don't have radio play, and yet they broke through that barrier, and that's pretty amazing. I mean, really, when you think about it, the Beatles were a boy band. I mean, Brian Epstein put that together, the package together. I remember reading a book about how they were waiting on their suits to come so they could do their show for the Ed Sullivan. I think it was the Ed Sullivan show.
Right.
I mean, these guys were some motley crew back in there. Where were they from? Liverpool?
They were from Liverpool.
Yeah, they were a motley crew. And they had a long line outside of the Cavern Club.
Right.
And Brian Epstein apparently noticed that and cleaned them up, sent them to America. And this is what we have now. And they've changed everything until Led Zeppelin hit. Well, they were about dying at that time, too. Weren't they fizzling out? The Beatles were fizzling out when Led Zeppelin came on.
Well, I don't think they were fizzling out. I think they were hot till the end. It just they wanted to end it. They wanted to end it. They just were.
They were burnt out.
They were burnt out. Yeah. When nobody's going to be together. What they were together from 60.
Yeah.
2 or 3 until 70. That's 7 years. Zeppelin was together 10 years, and they were not doing real good towards the end either. Between the couple of them were doing drugs too much. Others were having marital problems. One just stayed home and didn't want to. One John Bonham did not want to tour. He hated touring.
I could see
He had
that.
a farm and
I could see that.
he was out farming all the
I
time.
could see that. I could see
you
the thing.
imagine that?
You change in 10 years.
Yeah.
Look at myself. It changed in 10 years. Wow. I mean, so that's what I love about music. A lot of people don't like modern day music, but I like the evolution. I like to look at the evolution. What's changed, you know? So what we're going to do now is end the segment, but I wanted to talk about evolution.
Evolution.
And smack him.
All right. Adios.